What?
He doesn't.
Okay, we're back on again, guys. So, we were asking how did Joe get into gymnastics?
Yeah. Well, I wanted him to wrestle because David was wrestling, and I knew that Joe could beat anybody that was in his size. But Joe said to me, "I don't want to wrestle."
Didn't have anyone in that small size. Sorry.
Joe, when you were a freshman, how much did you weigh?
83.
Oh my God.
And the lowest wrestling weight was 101.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Keep going with gymnastics.
But even at that, he could have won every match. But he didn't want to wrestle.
No.
So I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he says, "Well, I don't know. I'd like to do gymnastics." And so I got him into. I went down to the University of Washington, and I knew the gymnastic coach down there. What the heck was his name?
Eric Hughes.
Eric Hughes. And I talked to Eric, and I said, "I've got a son that would like to be in gymnastics. Can I have him come down here?" And he says, "He can come down if he wants, but he's not going to make the team." And I said, "Well, I think I'll bring him down here anyway." So Joe went to school down there and went in and started doing gymnastics. And
At the University of Washington?
yeah.
How old was he?
No, right now I think you're talking about Kent Meridian.
He's talking about Kent Meridian.
Oh, that's right.
And
That's right.
Joe lived, Janet and Leon helped us buy a house in Kent so that he could be in the school district. And
That's
Joe
where it
lived
was,
with us
yeah.
his senior year in high school. So that he could go to Kent Meridian
That's
and be,
right.
you
Which
know,
is a
have the
powerhouse for
residence.
gymnastics.
Yeah, and so that he had the residency to.
No, it isn't, because there is no
Well,
men's
that's
gymnastics
Yeah.
There's no
in Washington
Yeah, it went away, but when they quit,
Well,
they were
in high
still
schools, really.
way up there.
Yeah.
So
But when he was little, I would take David and Joe
on Saturdays.
on Saturdays to the University of Washington to gymnastics.
yes, that's right.
And I would sit up in the HEC Ed and watch them do gymnastics.
So why did you think he would be good at wrestling? Was he like a good fighter, or was he like a ninja or something?
Tell us about all of his aggression.
For his weight, for his size and weight, he was so quick and active. He wouldn't have any problems with anybody his size and weight. So,
And I dare you to try and pin him to the floor.
Because
Or even come close.
my brothers and my father would have wrestling matches in our living room.
Yeah.
And
And Janet would be going, kids,
stop! My lambs, stop! And you couldn't never pin Joe down because he's like a little greasy worm.
A wiry, greasy worm.
Yeah.
Those are the best kind.
Well, good.
And Joe was always the one jumping off the top of the couch.
and rolling out of it.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Jumping
rolling
off
out
the
of it, yeah.
couch.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Luke,
It does.
Yes.
when Luke was a kid.
Yep.
Those big inflated.
Oh yeah. I just saw that online again within like the last 2 months, with Luke bouncing on the big
Yes.
yoga balls and
Yep.
doing flips on them.
Yep.
Yep, and I was about your weight in high school as well. I didn't break 100 until middle of sophomore year.
Me either.
Yeah. You either, Max?
Yeah, he's a
That
little-
was Mike? So,
You didn't break 100
I was in kindergarten, I broke 100.
He broke it. He really broke it.
Jesse, you say sophomore year of high school or college?
Of high school.
High school.
Yeah, that's when I got over 100. Was that a joke, Steve?
It's hard to tell looking at Jesse.
Big 150 now.
One-armed girl.
So are we on to who is next? Judy?
Judy.
Is that
Judy's the
who's
next
next?
she was a real struggle. She was really sharp. About her junior year in high school, was it? Susan, was that her junior year?
Yeah,
She took off
yeah. She
and
to
went
college.
down to California somewhere.
No, Rexburg.
She went to college when she
Went
was
to
a
college
junior.
when she was in junior high school.
She just had all her credits done?
You're thinking 10 years later,
She was
that's
just
fine.
done- She was done with high school.
Yeah,
She was done with high school.
She just was
bored.
done with high school and went to
And
college.
she's
Took
so,
took her
she's so
entrance
smart.
exams for college and could have gone to anywhere but like Harvard.
Yeah, very sharp. And she had difficulty getting along with her father. And her father had difficulty getting along with her. And so she took off and went to California. And about 2 months later, she came back.
Well, I think California was later.
Yeah, it was
California's later.
That's
That's
way
10 years
after
later.
she was an adult and married.
She went to Rexburg, to Rick's, for at least a semester, but probably a year.
I think longer.
I think at least a year, when she was a junior, because Kay Valesa was going, and Kay and Judy were friends, and so Kay was going, and Judy tagged along, was my memory.
And Kay is married to Dan, who was just
Yeah,
here
Dan was
earlier
just here, and
today.
Kay is married to her, and so Judy went to college when she was 15 or 16, whatever.
I think.
And then what you're talking about is 10 years later.
That was after she was already out of the home and
Yeah.
was an adult.
Yeah, she was an adult. She was
married to California.
Did she ever get to be an adult?
nope.
She's a fine adult.
As
know it.
evidenced of right over here.
Fine adult.
Right there.
But yeah, she went to Rick's when she was a junior in high school. Then she just went right to college.
And that's something you can't really do anymore. It's
Well,
just-
they do running start, but they don't do it the way she did it.
No,
She was probably the first running start.
Yeah.
She just ran.
The first running start.
She was bored in high school. Yeah, completely, utterly bored.
Yeah. And she had a difficult time with her father. Her father tried to control her, and
Oh, I
she
can't
said, no
imagine.
way. So she was out of there. So
What did she want to do? Like, if she was going to college, did she have a goal that she was there anything she was passionate about as a child?
Getting out of the house.
yeah,
away from
I
Leon.
think that was it. Getting away from Leon.
Getting away from Leon.
I was kind of a easygoing guy when my kids were growing up.
Yeah, you were.
My boots are getting ruined. It's so deep.
Somebody give me a shovel, please.
Yeah.
I was very difficult, so. But I think most of that was due to the frustrations of my life up to that point. So it was really it was a difficult time for me growing up. So
Raising kids.
Well, because you grew up when we were growing up.
Yeah, you were.
I did most of my growing up
You
then.
were 21, right, when you had Rob,
Yeah.
and then 29 by the time you had everybody but Katie.
Yeah.
So you were growing up during those
Yeah.
years.
And also,
With 6 kids.
And I was
also open heart surgery, which I don't know if everybody knows this, at 24.
yeah.
Open heart surgery.
Leon?
Leon.
When Mom was pregnant with me.
Was one of the very first people in America to have open heart surgery.
Yeah.
And it was a
And survive.
yeah, and they did it for free because they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, it was a teaching.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is 55.
Oh my god.
He has a scar that goes from here all the way around to there.
You wanna
It's a
see it?
It's a half inch. Yeah,
No.
stand up.
No.
It's a half inch Frankenstein scar. It's a half inch Frankenstein scar.
So that's a deal. Here, we'll do it free because we don't know what we're doing.
Yes.
What the hell is that?
You may not survive.
Basically, that's what it was.
Well, it was the second one done at the University of Washington, and it was just like, oh, we think we can do this.
Well, I mean, if he needed it, then that's a good deal. But
But
either
in
way, that's
55
sketchy.
But
But in
it was if
55
it didn't kill him.
Yeah, that was your choice.
Yeah.
Either die at 28 was what they told him.
Yeah.
That's the story Janet used to say. They figured he'd live to 28 because that's the heart defect. And when they fixed his heart, then he cursed us and he's still here.
Yeah. So he had a hole in between his
The right and left.
What do you
Walls
call
of the
them?
heart?
In
The
the,
sections of the heart.
Aortas?
No,
In the ventricles.
the ventricles or the, whatever, the chambers is what I'm
Yes.
looking for. And so like you could never take a
Are
pulse
you my,
on his legs because there was not enough pressure because there was always a hole, so there was never any,
Compression
yeah.
to push things where.
and yes, he does have a heart.
Yeah. They did.
Are you sure?
that's really debatable.
So was that
Shut up.
55?
She was pregnant with me.
So 55.
Yeah.
She had a toddler, a 1-year-old,
Yep.
and she's pregnant, and her husband was in there getting cut up.
Oh my goodness.
They did a good job.
Yeah, they sure did. I'm amazed that I'm a modern medical miracle.
And just so
Because-
just so you know, he had that surgery, and then 50 years to the year,
Yeah.
he had another open heart surgery, and the doctors were flabbergasted that he lived
To the
for the first 50 and the second. I mean, there's no way anybody ever goes 50 years between open heart surgeries.
And I'm still going.
Don't curse us any longer.
Don't get another open heart surgery. Don't jinx it.
And I gotta tell you, Leon,
Yeah.
to raise all those kids in your 20s,
Yes.
that's unbelievable, because I raised, I didn't even know what to raise. I had one boy at 24, and I was utterly out of my league to be able to be a parent at 24. So that was one. There were all those kids in your 20s. It's amazing that you survived, that all of everybody turned out well, except for a few.